Welcome back to Question of the Day. I'm your host, Brendan Glenn, and today we have a special guest joining us today, Ronan Rodriguez. Thank you for coming on. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How was your trip from England?
Dude, it was great until my car got stuck in the pond, and then I had to swim out. That's why I'm all wet right now.
Really?
Like, it shouldn't be a problem.
Dang, that was a far swim.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. For today's question of the day, we got it from one of our listeners, Mr. Cool Guy 23 at yahoo.com. So thank you for sending in the question. His question is, what was something you were scared of when you were younger, but not anymore?
Oh, man, when I was younger, I was scared of a lot of things. So, in elementary school, I just got out of kindergarten. Because in kindergarten, they had AM classes and PM classes. So, when you went into first grade, that was like the first time you'll ever ride a school bus. And I didn't think much of it. I thought like, okay, well, I'd be riding the school bus. But I totally didn't take into account how loud they were. Because when the buses came from the school, I remembered like how loud they'd be, and it was because of the brakes. Like someone with the brakes, it would squeak and go like, because the hydraulics would like bring the bus down, and it was so loud. Like I think the teachers knew me for the kid that would cover their ears and like try to block out the noise going la 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 la. So no, but I would cry like in first grade I would cry. Second grade I didn't like care so much, but what they had to do is they had to roll out a whole bus, and like the teachers like, see, it's not that scary. My parents were like, they did what now? So yeah, I was like, wow, they took a whole kid away from their class so they could show him that buses aren't really that scary. And I told them like, they're just loud, and they're like, what is this kid doing? So yeah, I was irrationally scared of yellow school buses as a kid.
But not anymore?
Not anymore, no.
Okay,
No,
that's
yeah.
That's good. I think for me, my biggest fear growing up was probably clowns. I used to be so scared of clowns every time I'd see them on TV or at birthday parties, and yeah, they kind of just like made me cry sometimes when I'd go to like birthday parties and my mom would try to get like a picture or have me take a picture with her or something like that, and I would just completely freak out. But what actually solved my fear of clowns was I went to see the movie It with my friends, and I was scared the whole movie, but it kind of like, I don't know, it kind of just like reshaped the way I like saw clowns, and it was actually a good movie. So I guess it's just kind of funny to look back on it now.
You know what's funny about clowns?
What?
They make $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
You're so from a clown's perspective, this guy wakes up every morning, leaves the house. If he has a wife, tells his wife, okay, I'm leaving for work. She's like, bye. This guy gets paid to get up, dress up, make kids smile. And then there's little Brendan Glenn crying in the corner because this guy's scaring. That makes me so sad.
Yeah.
That you were scared of clowns. And I know like a whole bunch of people are scared of clowns. But this is some guy's profession. Either this clown loves to see kids like scared of this guy, or maybe they really like to make kids laugh or something. But I think that if your profession is being a clown, then something's wrong. Something's up.
I mean, they need to start paying you.
Yeah, 50,000 though.
That's
That's okay. It's not bad.
Okay. The next question of the day, because there's two, because it's a special, is from at the real cool Chadman 1234 at outlook.com. And his question is, what is a near-death experience you had?
Near-death experience. Okay, so besides almost getting hit by a car maybe once or twice because I wasn't, like, looking or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, so this actually happened last year. So it was like December, like, it was snowing really bad, and me and my friends, there's like 5 of us, we thought it'd be a good idea to go sledding behind my house. Because there's a big golf course behind my house, and there's like this hill, and like a bunch of like sand traps and stuff around it, but we didn't care, we were kids, this was last year. So, there's a big hill, and we'd go down it, and I totally didn't take into account that there's a pond behind it. Like, it's snow, it's blanketed over, it all kind of looks the same. because when it's snowy, you can't really see like all of the other stuff like water or
Mhm.
the sand traps, or can't tell from one thing from another. So we were sledding down. I get to like the top and I sled down, and when it stops, I get off the sled and I hear like crackling under my feet. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? So I fell in, and I was probably chest deep in the water, and I was freezing, and like you have that like shock where it's like so like I breathed in a little water, and I was like coughing it out. And it was funny because my friend Cruz, he was like, okay, I know the solution here. He pulls up a video of how to get out of ice water, and I was like, he pulled this video up, and I thought, okay, this is how I'm gonna die. I just accept it. So he's like, okay, what you gotta do is you gotta lean forward and kick out of the water and crawl. And I'm like, okay, Cruz, okay, I'm gonna crawl. So I'm crawling out of this water, and my friend Andrew, he threw, I don't know what he thought by this, but I think what he was trying to do is like give out his sled so he can pull me out with his sled, but he threw it for some reason. And he tells me, hey, when you're getting out, do you mind bringing the sled back? And here I am dying. And my mom comes out, she's looking at me, I'm like, oh man, my mom's gonna see this. So, maybe 10 minutes later I get out and I'm like freezing. I go and take a hot shower with all my clothes on, because I was like, okay, I'm not taking this stuff off. And yeah, I felt like I was gonna die.
Wow.
That was last year too. It was like not. Yeah,
That's
it was pretty
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think my closest near-death experience isn't actually a close near-death experience,
Okay.
but I definitely thought I was going to die in the moment. And this happened with my friend, let's call my friend Bill to keep it confidential.
Bill. All right.
So me and Bill, when we would hang out, we would wait until 8 o'clock at night usually. Then we'd go out and do some ding-dong ditching. And this was in like middle school, freshman year probably. And there was only a couple of houses that we would do because like the hiding spots weren't good at other houses. And so we would end up doing the same couple houses, and they started to catch on to it. And we would do this maybe like, not like super often, but maybe like a couple times a month or something like that. But there's this one house we didn't do because there's this one lady that was very scary. And we just knew that she wasn't nice. And there wasn't really good at any hiding spots. But at this point, me and Bill thought we were kind of like professionals at this. So we were like, you know what? Let's do this house. So I went and hid in the woods, probably 70 yards away, because there wasn't really a good hiding spot. So Bill goes up to the door, rings the doorbell, runs over to the bushes, and we see this lady come out, and she is so angry. She is freaking out. Like, it was crazy. And we got such a great reaction out of her. We decided to do it again. We waited a couple minutes.
The same day.
Same day, same night.
Same day.
All within like 5 minutes. So Bill goes back up to the front, rings the doorbell, but this time he trips on the bush, and I'm like, Bill is gonna die. Bill is dead.
Bill's dead. See ya.
So right as he gets to the woods to do it again, because luckily he made it, as soon as he gets to the woods, the door flies open, and this lady is way angrier than we saw her before. And we didn't really see how tall she was or how big she was until she got into the street light. And she was probably the biggest, buffest lady I've ever seen. She was probably like 6'2", probably 200 pounds of pure muscle. Like, this lady was terrifying.
Lady bodybuilder.
And she was just running up and down the street, yelling like an animal, like with a baseball bat. She had a baseball bat in her hand, and me and Bill literally thought we were gonna die. We already like peed our pants at this point, and we just started hauling for the woods. We ran probably a quarter of a mile before we even decided to turn back. And right at the end of it, Bill yelled stop for some reason. I don't know why he did, but I remember I was on the sidewalk and I slipped and fell in a puddle, and I probably slid like 15 feet. But ever since then, that was our last time ding-dong ditching, and I think we learned our lesson.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's big. So big lady followed you with a bat.
Mm-hmm.
You slipped because Matt I mean,
All right.
Bill.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. This
Yeah.
podcast is sponsored by Niagara Drinking Water. Thank you.